Rich Grenier is in the hot seat. He must be beaten twice. Runner-up's going to get $900, and the champion of the CoolStudents.net Southwest One Pocket Shootout will receive $1,500. Good luck, gentlemen.
Hi, this is Mike Lallemere, CoolStudents.net again. We're here at the finals of the Southwest Shootout that we've been having over the last 2 days.
A round of applause for Jimmy Joe one more time. Keep in mind your comment, brought in some extra wait staff, please. Please take care of the wait staff, Mike, Bill, Tiana, all of them. Look a little halfway.
And I'm here with Lenny Marshall, who's been doing great commentary for us. He's a one-pocket student. He's an aficionado, and he knows this game very well. We'd be happy to have him here. So we're about to start the finals, double elimination, and this is Rich. And Lenny, tell us about these two players.
Well, you got Rich Grenier. He's playing Bernie Pettipiece. Bernie's the, this is his homeroom, so he's kind of trying to defend it. He's got to beat Rich twice, and this is a true double elimination, so races to 3, and this is the finals, and they both are good players. And Bernie just got done with a hill nail biter, so maybe he can carry that momentum over into this match, and hopefully he's got enough energy to carry him through.
It's a different kind of opponent this time. Last time was Mitch Ellerman, who is a fantastic shooter and runner of balls. And Rich, he plays a more well-rounded game where he's just a tremendous mover, but he can also shoot straight.
Yeah, it's gonna, they played for the hot seat, Rich and Bernie, and Rich ended up beating Bernie pretty handily. So, I guess he would be considered the favorite, but we've seen a lot of upsets in this tournament anyway, and Bernie's a very talented player. So,
and Bernie, just as we said, beat Mitch Ellerman, who was probably the pre-tournament favorite. So
yeah.
And for the finals of this tournament, there's no 3-hour minimum, so this could go longer because both of these players can be deliberate. So there's no telling how it's going to turn out. Although the last match when they played in the hot seat wasn't a long match at all. Get over far enough? It's kind of a dangerous shot.
Yeah, he's looking at it, and he's
Thank you.
He can get his cue ball probably down there too. So he fired it. Watch his cue ball go down. Good shot.
So he was hoping if he missed, to block those two balls or get behind him.
He probably wanted to get down. It looked like on the 12 ball for a shot on it.
Wow, that's not an opening shot you normally would see from Bernie.
No, it wasn't an easy shot, but he feels maybe the first time the way he played Rich wasn't as effective as he would have liked, so maybe he's going to be a little bit more aggressive with him this time. That's a good shot. Very nice shot. He's got him behind the one ball.
Plus, Bernie finished that last match strong, running out on Mitch, so maybe he feels like.
I was wrong. He was not behind the 1 ball. He left him a bank on the 11 ball, and I would say Bernie's going to have to probably. He might have to make this ball if he can't move it. It's a tough ball to move, the 11 ball, especially with the 1 ball there. I don't like this shot. I mean, I know it's something you would be biding your time if he stops. If he just shoots straight into that ball, crosses to the side, and stops the cue ball on the stack. Rich is going to find a way to keep protecting those balls. He's got to do something now, which he is, and this is the right shot. Just give up the ball, it looks like, and he needed to make that ball. He made an error there, and Rich is going to make him pay. Rich will probably go into the stack here. He wanted to touch the 7 ball. He wanted to hit the 7 ball, open up the balls just a little bit, then shoot the 1 ball next. Instead, he's going to have a shot on the 9 ball. You know, he just didn't hit the stack. He missed the 9, but he's got cover still on those 2 balls. He does a good job of protecting the balls. You know, he knew it was a tough shot, and he played his cue ball. He didn't play shape on anything. He just played. If he makes a 9, great. If not, he's got cover. Now you see Bernie and what he's trying to do here. He's crossed the ball over to his side, and he did. That's a great shot. He's probably going to have to go up and down the table and just make the 15 ball.
It's a little bit of a scary table.
Yeah, it's
Oops.
I mean, Bernie's leading 2-1 in the ball count, but the table really is favoring Rich. You know, with the balls laying over there that way. He did not want to hit that 1 ball. He wanted to hit the 9 ball and have the 1 cover up that ball. Instead, he's left a bank, it looks like, and he's probably going to end up paying severely for it when Rich makes this bank.
Missed it.
Yeah, he hit it short. Well,
That's amazing. That's an automatic shot for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually he's a big favorite, obviously, to make that shot, and unfortunate for Bernie that he did not. And
Bernie didn't miss it.
no, he made a good bank, and he's got a cut on the 13 ball, it looks like. It's a very, very thin, touchy cut shot if he wants to take it on, but he has no other choice here but to cut that 13 ball in. It looks like, because Rich has got 3 balls there that are just waiting. He's got to make this ball. The ball count right now is 4-1 in favor of Bernie. Bernie's down table, and he's probably going to have to 2-rail that 9 ball out. if he doesn't want to. I mean, he's got some options here. It's kind of all preference here for him, whatever he wants to shoot. One, yep, he moved the 9 out. He elected to kick it over just lightly, but Rich might bank the 1 ball here. And the cue ball will go down table with high left-hand English. He wanted to get the cue ball to the rail, so then Bernie wouldn't be able to do too much with the cue ball, but
that was a good outcome. Bernie likes to go around the table.
yeah, he's in leading 4-1, but you know, I mean, it's going to be a battle here. I mean, Rich is such a cagey player. I mean, anything can happen. He's gonna, you know, Bernie's gonna have to really earn it.
I wonder where mental fatigue falls here, because they've been playing for 6 or 7 hours straight now.
Yeah, I will. You know, in my opinion, I think that might be where Rich has the edge. He doesn't ever seem like he's worse for wear, you know, and Bernie is. You know, I think Bernie is a player, you know, from what I've seen, who from 6 to 8 hours, you know, and then he might start falling off a little bit of his game, but he'll dig deep here because it's the finals, and you know,
Rich doesn't seem to expend any energy in his movements or
no,
anything. He's just sort of so quiet, so casual. How do the players feel about playing on a Gold Crown versus Diamond? Mostly Colby's, the championships are on the Diamonds, but because of the video and stuff, it ended up on the Gold Crowns. Do players have much feeling about that, one way or the other?
Well, I know, you know, Rich likes playing on the Gold Crowns. That's what he plays on. He don't really play on Diamond tables. For him, it's actually... I'm sure he's really enjoying it. Bernie actually has a gold crown at home, so he, you know, although he does really like the Diamond table, and he does play majority of the time on the Diamond table that's here at Colby's. So he's.
How does the game change between the two?
Well, you can. There's certain shots that you can play on the Diamond table that you can't play on a Gold Crown because of the spring air rails that the Diamond table has. Diamond tables, you know, spring air rails. It seems like it's just a faster, livelier table, you know. And the Gold Crowns are usually aged well in the rubber too, you know. So you got to actually stroke the ball more and hit the balls a little harder.
Bernie had a nice shot there to get the balls kind of headed in his direction that are in the middle of the table. They're sort of heading the other direction there until he made that shot. Ooh. That would have went right in the middle of the hole if he'd not had the 6 there.
Well, you might see Bernie shoot a shot here. He'll probably cross the 6 over to his side, and He elected to keep tucking him behind there, and he moved the 2 over to his side. That was big, getting that 2 ball over there, because if Rich tries to do something like bank the 6, he's most likely going to leave Bernie some sort of shot. But he's going for it, it looks like. He'll get his cue ball down to that rail.
Oh,
how did he hit the ball? Oh, just hit the point, and
he hit that sweet.
Now Bernie's got a shot here on the deuce where he can play the 2, and the cue ball will slide over. So
that was an uncharacteristic shot for Rich, I thought.
He was kind of in he was in a bad situation there. Bernie wishes he could have made that ball, because you know what Rich is going to do? He's probably going to bank the 5 into the balls, and who knows what might happen. He might make a ball, but either way, he's going to have a lot of balls on his side of the table after this shot.
Not to mention the 3 balls that Bernie would have picked off after
Yeah, Bernie would have won the game if he made the 2.
Yeah.
Because he only needs 4 balls, so.
Here it goes.
Yeah. He didn't quite get the result that he was hoping for, but nonetheless, he's got some strength on his side. He's got some balls open to his side.
Yeah, Bernie had turned the table around on him a little bit, and now it's right back the other way.
He could probably cross the 5 over and then just bring his cue ball down. I mean, you got those balls that are there, the 1 and the 6 and the 4 and the 8. I mean, he just wants to keep his cue ball probably down there and cross the 5 to his side. That's a shot that he could shoot. He elected to go into the balls, and that's a great shot too. Probably even better, because he's got that 8 ball over there, and he's got cover on it. And look where his cue ball is. So, wow.
You thought that was in?
Bernie's in some trouble now. So, and he knows it.
Wow, that is an ugly-looking situation.
Yeah, he's the thing he'll probably do is. He's going to shoot at the 5 into the 1, and the 5's going to go up table, and the 1 will be made, and the cue ball will be right there. The 1 came back. I don't know if
balls aren't sitting real well for Rich, but
he can. I don't think he can make the 14. It looks like, so he's going to have to figure out something else.
Rich looks a little frustrated by that roll. He's about as frustrated as he's looked all day. He was not happy that was the only shot he had after that.
Well, Bernie's leading 4-2, but with Rich having all the balls over there like that, I almost, Bernie's up 4-2 in this game, but I think Rich is the favorite to win the game with the balls the way they're laid out.
Start the tedious process of trying to get balls back on your side.
Yeah, see, he had to get some strength on his side, and now he's going to move probably the 14 next and bring his cue ball down. He'll cross the 3 ball over, run the cue ball down table. There he goes. And now you might see Bernie bank the 7 ball here.
Again, for beginners like me, what was interesting about that shot was he wasn't trying to make the ball. He wasn't trying to slam the balls across. He was just trying to get the cue ball up there with his new ball situated and covered. That's all he did.
Yeah,
he didn't try anything very fancy, and that's very effective. I wish I could remember that.
Yeah. He didn't go for the 7. He just 2-railed that 14 ball, and you're going to see Rich bank this ball back right here. It's looks like the 12 ball, I believe. You're going to see him bank it and run his cue ball down table.
Played the cue ball.
Yeah. Now having that cue ball right where it is, I mean, Bernie's not in too creative a spot. I think he's gonna. I think he can go out to 7 and bank it into those balls, but he's got to be very careful that he doesn't leave any kind of bank. He's going to go off the 8 and then tuck his cue ball down by the 1, or just by Rich's pocket. He doesn't want it to bounce up. The 8 did bounce up and left Rich a bank, it looks like, so Bernie's not too thrilled with that result.
Roll the ball either way, and that doesn't happen. That's amazing. Now we got some trouble here.
Well, yeah, I mean, now the score is 4-3. It's in favor of Bernie, but Rich is at the table and shooting, so.
We'll just have to bounce this ball in somewhere and just get a good result, I think, right? I can't have much else. What about banking the 2 into that group down at the bottom, or not banking, but hitting the 2 down into that group at the bottom to try to break that up a little bit?
I mean, you know, he can. I mean, he's got some options here. I mean, he's probably going to go into this combination and then run his cue ball back down table. See the cue ball? He's back down table, but he opened those balls up to his side. That was strong. And
covered one of them.
Yeah.
It's closing in.
Bernie's going to have to do something with the. He'll probably cross the 7 ball over. Just bank the 7 ball over and maybe keep his cue ball over on that side of the table. That didn't work out too bad for him, besides the 14 ball, which Rich is probably liable to make. He straightened that ball out a little too much, and he's not in bad shape. I think Bernie's probably going to have to 2-rail the 14 ball out, and maybe even 3 rails to his side if he wants to hit it a little firmer. He needs to get something on his side of the table. Score is 4-4, so. Ooh. He tried to do that. He tried to, hit it firm so he could try to get something over on his side of the table, but it didn't work out too well.
He's thinking a lot about this shot. For me, looking at it, it's not a clear-cut shot. I wouldn't know what to do here, I don't think.
No, that was a great shot. I mean, he crossed the 6th ball over, and he's got him frozen to 7, and now Bernie's got to do a little something like a tippy-tap shot, I mean, it really doesn't have much else that it can really do.
Have I told you I hate that tippy-tap shot?
Yeah. It's, it's one of those shots that you gotta learn. It looks like he's trying to play the 1 ball. And run his cue ball. I mean, it was just not he just needed to, he didn't need to really do that. I mean, it was that was a tough shot to execute.
That's where you go back to the dink. The dink was the thing, like you were saying.
Yeah, if he could have just dinked it to the rail, I mean, that would have been ideal.
I think a little bit is, if you're under pressure, every shot, you've got some dilemma. It's just, I think it just forces you eventually to make a bad execution or a bad choice or something. It's just too tough.
Well, he missed his out ball. He only needs that one ball. And Bernie's probably going to have to follow it in if he can't move it out of there. Yeah. Now he's going to spot his ball and that ball that he just made. So that's
Where at the point do you make the decision to try to knock the ball off the table instead of rolling it in? I mean, to me, I sometimes don't. I can't quite figure out when I can roll it in when I can't.
Sometimes you'll have an angle where maybe the ball isn't sitting in the pocket. Just say the ball is sitting inside the pocket where deep enough, and sometimes it might be a funny angle where maybe it's by the point, and if you hit it, your cue ball is going to roll off and kind of just sit there. So you got to sometimes just jack up and pop it off the table. So that's pretty much the only two times that there's times where you're going to have a ball that's going to be sitting really deep in the pocket, and you're maybe have just a funny angle on it, and you can't follow it in straight. So, and you'll have to jack up. Nice two-railer. He needed to put a little more speed on it, but
sitting next to Rich watching this game is the world's best one-pocket player, Mr. Frost, Scott Frost. I wonder if that's taking a little bit of pressure. You're sitting here playing that for the championship, and you got Scott Frost sitting next to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Scott and Rich were to play, I think Scott has to give Rich probably a ball or two, and I mean that's how good of a player Rich is. Although, playing within a bowl of a bowl or two of the best in the world is nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, it shows how great of a player he is.
Also shows how great a player Scott Frost is. I mean, the guy before this, Mitch Ellerman, there's a lot of talk of the game being between Mitch and Scott to be where Scott's giving him 3 balls, 10-7. So, that just really puts Scott in a world all his own as far as the ability to play this game. Bernie was telling me the other day that he learned a lot about, he took a couple extra levels, but he had to play and get beat by Scott Frost a lot to learn the game better, to make the next step. Because the only way he could realize some things was just getting it thumped into him by a great player.
Yeah, and I mean, you can learn a lot from the better players by playing against them, watching them when you can. And if you don't have players around you that are top level, there's lots of videos out there on the internet, including on your site. So you watch those videos and study them, and as your game progresses, you can go back to them and you can learn new things that you pick up as your mind starts to open up more to the game.
Yeah, the first time I started watching videos, I could see some things, but it took me playing a while to really understand.
Yeah, why they were doing it.
Yeah.
And when you learn that, you can start to pick up more and more.
But there's probably nothing like really getting tortured by a good player to learn some things. It's like I said earlier, each great player has a different way to torture you.
Well, I don't know if you ever have read the book Winning One Pocket or Shots, Moves, and Strategies, but they're by Eddie Robin, and those books they call them the One Pocket Bible. It's basically just, wow, he went for a good shot there, and it might have scratched.
Oh, no.
Oh, look at that. Well, he might have left him a combination, but those books, if you really like One Pocket, are books that, if you can get your hands on them, they're great, but I don't think they're in print anymore. But you can find them on the used market, and they are just really filled with stories and knowledge of the game. And I find myself, I've read those books when I first started playing One Pocket, and then a couple years later, because my game had evolved, and maybe a couple years from now I'll read them again and maybe pick up some new stuff out of there. And that's what you do. You can, same thing with videos. You can go back to them and kind of appreciate some of the stuff that's in there more. Well, Bernie's got a spot shot here. And he came out, and he's got a funky... I don't know if he's going to try to attempt to cut this ball in. He might, but he might. It looks like it's going to scratch, but we'll see.
Cue balls could go all over the place here.
Yeah, the cue ball is going to fly. I told you about the scratch. I mean, he just had that angle. And, the thing is, the good thing is, he made the ball. Because now he spots up too. So
it's not like Bernie didn't know that the possibility was there.
Just, on this shot right here, I don't know if Rich is going to play what they call the okey doke shot, which is you'll draw and you'll shoot straight into that ball right there, the 5, and draw, and the 5 will be propelled straight through towards the pocket, as so, and watch the 14. It's coming down too. So, pretty cool little shot there. Pretty nifty shot.
Oh, Bernie's hoping to get the 14 there.
And he's probably going to bank the 13 and get his cue ball down table.
Hit it good. His broad shoulders are blocking us, though.
He hit it pretty good. Ball's hanging in the hole. I really don't know what Bernie's going to do here, to be honest. He'll probably try to jump the balls off. That's what he's going to try to do.
I'm glad he didn't hit the cameras. I was about ready to dive for the camera to make sure it didn't hit the ground. Watch it now. Bernie took a little pot shot at us with the scratch that time. It was head high. I guess Bernie was trying to make some news.
Yeah, Bernie was just asking the score. He thought it was 2-0, but they just told him it's 1-0, and it's Bernie's break. So that game took quite a while, and they were, Bernie's. Like I said, I think Bernie is kind of running out of gas.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I mean, I kind of know him well enough to know that he's probably a little bit out of gas. If he was fresh, this might be a whole different match.
The thing about Bernie too is he is never cheery in the midst of a serious match. So he's kind of, if he lightens up a little bit like that, he's an edgy player. He plays on edge.
Yeah,
but he's a great guy. he also is a great teacher of the game, and he very anxious, willing to help you learn how to play for a small fee.
Yeah.
A little stop in the action here, a little tournament director stop. Not sure what it's about. My ears are still ringing from that ball Bernie hitting to the pole there.
Yeah, they might have had to get a new cue ball.
Have the umpire check that ball.
Well, it looks like he's just going to roll him up on the stack. Watch this. Good shot. He got him really close onto the 4, it looks like. And Bernie will probably try to get him back in there again, if he can. He didn't get there, and he left him a bank on the 7 ball.
Boy, that's...
And Rich can... Rich might play this with shape. You never know. No, he just plays it for... he got position. Either to shoot he's got the 11 ball, it looks like.
It looked like he played that for minimum damage. You know, he wasn't... he didn't sell out anything. But he still had a shot.
Yeah, he got a shot on the 11, and he could probably bank the 3 here over to his side. And if he doesn't make it, he'll have cover on it with a stack. Or he could bank the 6 ball that he's looking at and stop his cue ball right there. He doesn't want to hit the point. He wanted it to get closer to his pocket, but... Well,
I can remember taking a lesson from Mitch, and he was saying that he makes his decisions sometimes on whether to shoot a ball on how close the opponent's ball is to the hole. You know, if it's right there, he won't shoot, but if it's off like 5 or 6 inches, that might make the difference for him taking a shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh yeah. There's so many variables in pool, and especially one pocket. A lot of things going on in the game. But now, if you could ask, just say you met Efren Reyes, and what kind of question would you ask him when it comes to one pocket?
Well, I don't know. He always never has a good answer. It's always he's lucky or something.
Yeah,
you know. I don't know. I don't know if he gives you a good technical answer if you have it. I mean, the thing I want to know. I'm always trying to ask the subtleties of a shot, and because the game, in my view, is not intuitive, meaning just doesn't come naturally to you, you have to see it or be explained to it. It's like every little shot, there's a reason why it's done that I might not know. So I'm always asking on why someone did this or someone did that, and it's got to the point now where I can watch other players who may even be better players and understand it a little bit better. And I did that by just asking questions on specific shots. And otherwise, it's really, one thing that's difficult is you can get some strategies for one pocket, like don't sell out or don't give up this or that or you got to shoot to your hole or whatever. But one strategy does not fit all or does not fit all situations. So I found myself not understanding when to use one strategy and not use the other. So, shooting at the wrong time or not shooting at the wrong time or whatever. So it's the difficult thing for me is each individual situation, why you did it or why you didn't do it.
Yeah.
So that's really only way I can ask questions.
And I think a lot of that stuff will come with time and experience, because it's one of those things where you'll learn about the risk reward factor and why you're shooting the shot that you're shooting and figuring out. Sometimes your back's to the wall and you don't really have a good shot and you have to take something that's tough. But
I'll give you some examples of things I wouldn't have guessed on my own, and Bernie is an example of one. He was the first to tell me that when you have a shot lined up with a back cut from a spot shot or something, you don't have to aim to make the ball.
Yeah.
You want to aim where you can dig that cue ball into the stack or behind or freeze some ball. Who cares if the ball actually reaches the pocket, because it's going to be sitting there and you can get it next time. But
you'll see a lot of players that are trying to always play to make it, and then then you sell out. The cue ball is the most important thing in the game. That's
you just don't always have to make a ball, or you don't always have to try to make the ball. And that was a hard thing to understand coming from rotation, is, you want to make the ball.
Yeah.
And so the subtlety was, what's more important, making this individual ball or where the cue ball ends up. And most times, if you can lock somebody up, that's much more important than the ball actually going in the hole. Nice shot.
Well, Bernie's running some balls here. It looks like he's... It looks like he might need 2 balls, I believe. So, yeah, I think he needs 2 balls here.
Where's he going to get the last one?
Actually, he needs. I think he might need 3. I think a ball needs to be spotted up.
Where's he going to get the next one after this?
I don't know if he's going to really... he might try to come down and get on the 13 ball. Yeah.
What if he misses this?
Well, he might run his cue ball. He might try to spin into one of those balls. If he misses, he's not going to lose the game from here. But he's pretty much got to shoot this, because he doesn't really have anything. I don't see him not shooting this. I'm pretty sure he's going to definitely take this shot on, because there's really no reason not to. If he misses, he's going to sell a few balls, but he's not going to lose the game. He might spin into those balls that are there. Yeah, he missed.
He hit it hard enough so he can come back down.
Yeah.
Did he give up the bank?
If it comes down too far, he'll give up a bank. But
see, there's a case where he wanted to make the ball, but it was much more important where the cue ball ended up. As far as the game was concerned.
Well,
I think that would cause him to miss.
Yeah. Well, Bernie's leading this game 6-2, and
I see. There's only 2.
6-2, and it looks like he can cut the 4-ball in, and
doesn't like
he doesn't like it because he's got to hit it with a lot of speed and super thin, and if he misses, he loses the game. So maybe he might just cross the 13 to his side. And
it looked like an easy decision for him, just that, no, I'm not going to shoot it.
Yeah, he crossed the 13 to his side, and he's left Bernie long on the rail.
I tell you for sure, Mitch Ellerman shoots that shot.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think Bernie might... I don't know if Bernie's going to elect to shoot the one here. He might. He doesn't really have it. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, that's not a bad shot either. See, he didn't have to shoot it, because if he missed it, he would have left the cross bank. So he just moved it onto his side, banked it over to his side, and left his cue ball on the rail. Nothing wrong with that. And you see it, and we've seen it numerous times in some of the matches where the players were doing that. Instead of shooting the ball, they're just moving it to their side, because they know if they miss, they're going to sell out. So
another thing a subtlety that finally popped in my mind, I couldn't figure out why I was overshooting my shape or safe or freeze by like half a ball, and then when I did that, I would tend to lose the game because that would end up being
Yeah.
a sellout.
Yeah.
And I finally figured out it was because I come from rotation, and I like to stroke the ball. I want to stroke every ball. And so if you're stroking the ball, you're going to go long on a lot of things, and you can't calculate how far it's going to go when you're stroking the ball as much as you can when you're rolling the ball or pushing at the ball like these fellas do. And so, you can't bring that long stroke into this game except for a couple shots, or you're going to it's too casual a stroke to succeed because you have to be pinpoint control with that cue ball.
Oh yeah, it's definitely important in this game to have control of that cue ball, as it is in all pool games, but especially in one pocket.
I saw a very good rotation player, Nick DeLeon, play a one pocket specialist the other day, and Nick, in a game of rotation, is two balls better than this guy, but because he kept stroking everything, his ball would pass the best spot on the amateur side. Bernie calls it, and it allowed too many shots from this other guy.
Wow! Did you see that shot?
Yeah,
that was a pretty interesting choice from Bernie. Wow!
Nice shot. Nope.
Wow! Good shot from Rich. Good shot.
Took me a while to figure out that one rail kicks in these games was pretty good. You can really get a lot done with a one rail kick. Brand new ball game.
Look at this position that he's gotten here. He's gotten really good on this ball.
So he needs 3? Is that what he needs?
From here, it does look like he needs 3 balls, and Bernie needs 2. So, when it looked like Bernie was going to take this game down and was in complete control, all of a sudden he's not. And
but if that one rail kick goes in, he wins.
Oh yeah.
That. Oh.
All right. Oh, score is 6-6 now. Yeah, he'll probably bank the 9 ball. I mean, he's got to make sure that his cue ball is not going to go anywhere where maybe it would scratch off the 1 ball or something like that. I don't think so. I think he'll be fine because he's just going to hit it with like a center ball. No, he just crossed it. That's a good shot. Yeah, he just kept it on the side. He didn't go for anything too flashy.
I go for that bank every time, but you can leave the cross bank. It's a good player can make that.
And you're turning your cue ball a little loose where you might leave him some other shots too. So that's just really, he's playing conservative, and I don't blame him because he's back in the game. Score 6-6. They both need 2. You're going to see some moving here because.
Lenny, what was the hardest thing for you to learn about one pocket?
I think it was just making the balls when I beat somebody. If I beat somebody to a shot and outmoved them or something, I think it was, just getting the maximum amount of balls that I could possibly get when I get to the table and have a shot. Because it might be your only chance to beat the person in that game. Because especially if it's somebody who might be a better player, and they give you an opportunity to get to a table, you need to take full advantage. That's why you'll see some of these better players that get so frustrated when they don't run balls, and you're thinking to yourself, well, they're winning the game, but they had an opportunity to end the game, to get it over with, as opposed to just, I got 3, 4, or 5 balls. You just want to get as many balls as you possibly can when you have the opportunity to run the balls.
In the last year, I think that's what I've seen the most improvement in your game is that you are definitely a threat to run out balls now, and the reason I think is because your short shape and pocketing has improved.
Yeah, I've definitely worked on pocketing balls, and I learned an aiming method, and that really helped me to really jump up quite a bit. Now I'm not really guessing where to hit the ball or going by feel, which a lot of players do, and some players have the natural talent to pocket balls, natural ability. But using that aiming method, I've I've greatly improved my chances on pocketing balls, and when you're running more balls, it's enjoyable because you're saying to yourself, you feel it's kind of a double-edged sword. It's great when you're making the balls, but you start to think that you can make anything, and next thing you know, you're shooting some really
dramatic shots.
You might shoot some shots that are people are like, wow, I can't believe that guy shot that shot. But sometimes you just
my moving game's improved a lot, but I still lose games now because I don't run the balls I should run.
And that's the biggest thing. Like you can I've always felt in this game that I moved fairly well, and not that my moving's not improving, but it was definitely improving my shooting ability. That it was something that I needed to work on, and I'm going to still continue to work on. Because if you can get stable, and if you have a chance to run 8 balls, you should run the 8 balls.
Right. And for a beginning player, you're going to be getting spotted balls when you play people, and every ball is important, and you just can't afford to miss easy ones. And I find one of the reasons I miss them is because I don't bear down. I think I'm in stroke, or I think I'm in dead stroke, like in a rotation game, but you're not in one pocket because you don't get to shoot that much.
No, you're not.
You got to bear down on every single shot. Take it, give it all the respect any other shot would get. Gotten a little better, but man, is it frustrating.
Well, it's a game that you're going to see progress, and it takes a lot of time. Yeah, that was a great shot. Yeah, Bernie needs 1 ball now, and he doesn't really have anything right here. Hey, he just dinked the ball forward a little bit, and Rich doesn't really have a shot here. He'll probably just cross the ball over to his side. He doesn't want to leave Bernie a 2-railer here, because if he leaves Bernie the 2-railer, he could lose the game. He did not, and Bernie doesn't want to make a mistake here. I mean, this is anybody's game, regardless if Rich needs 2 and Bernie only needing 1.
Interesting thing in this game that sometimes as a beginner you think you make a big mistake and you give somebody 4 or 5 balls and it's the end of the world, but both these guys have made big mistakes in this game to allow the other player in, yet they're still battling out at the very end, so there's just no reason to give up if you're down 4 or 5 balls, because the game can change.
Oh yeah, I mean the game can change, and almost anything can happen. I mean, we've seen that over this weekend.
Look at this shot.
And that's what I mean. Look at this. If he would have made that ball, that 8 ball would have spotted up for Rich right after.
Yeah.
Right after the 1 went in, they would have spotted the 8, and he would have probably crossed the 8 ball or moved it to his side. So
I would have never thought about that shot.
Bernie is probably going to go for this spot shot, and it's not without risk.
Will he roll it?
I don't think he might roll it in, but either way, if he
didn't roll it.
No, he went into the 1 ball. Good shot.
That's a tough shot and pressure.
The thing with rolling that ball is if he rolled it in, he might have left a cross bank, and then Rich would have crossed the ball and then got shape on the other ball, and he loses the game off of the spot shot. And next thing you know, we got a 1-1 match here. Scores 1-1, and Rich is breaking the balls. And he has that's a pretty good break. You see where he's got his cue ball? He's got 2 balls sitting in front of his pocket there, and that